Oh, no, you don't.
Oh,
you don't
we don't?
have to.
Oh,
no.
Okay. Well, I'm going to record it, and just in case it posts, we need to post it, I'll have it.
Yeah, that's smart.
And then if not, I'll just delete it off my channel.
I mean, you're not going to watch this every night before you go to bed?
Probably not. Problem is if I did watch it every night before bed, I'd spend too much time laughing at us and not being able to get a good night's sleep because we have too much fun doing this. So,
yeah.
Okay, anybody want to go first, or did y'all want me to go first? I'm good either way.
Sure, you can, but I was just wondering, how long do we take per person? Like, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I was trying to time mine to see how long it would take because I did a PowerPoint like what you said. But I can just, kind of flip through it and do the ideas off of each page. So I think it was like 10 minutes.
Well, if each of us takes
probably too long.
Almost an hour.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, is that good? 5 to 10.
We could do a little less.
I think it's better to keep it short.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, who would you like to start? You want to start, Jose?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. And I made a PowerPoint, but I put a lot of video in it, so it's not going to play. So I'm just going to kind of talk through my daily goals, my weekly goals, and then I'll answer the questions that it asked for the assignment. So my first daily goal was, did I update my goals by noon for the prior day? And I started off real strong on that. And then once my wife got ill, that just went right down the drain. And to be honest with you, from starting about the second week, that was a big no. But I did stay in touch with my team, my accountability partners, instead of daily, on a weekly basis. And so that worked out. And my second daily goal was to read my scriptures. And I was able to do that every day with the exception of 4 days. And those were the days that we were in the hospital or the emergency room, and there was just no way that was happening. I was too much of a hot mess worried about what my wife was doing, so I was like not digging into the scriptures that day. So I didn't accomplish that one. My third goal was to spend 15 minutes a day planning, and for the most of the time I did that because my goal was to become a better at time management for my calling, my church, my work, and my family. And
wait, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How did that work for you? Do you think, I've never thought to do that?
Oh, it's the absolute best thing that I've ever done. I would get up from work. I would set my alarm 15 minutes early, and I would sit down and I would look at everything that I had to accomplish. I'd look at everything that I didn't accomplish from the day before, and I'd reprioritize, and I'd make my attack list for that day. And what I found is that it not only kept me on track with keeping everything in line, but it helped me prioritize which things were, like I said in Dr. Covey's book, were, what was it, non-urgent, non-essential, and just block those out. Because before I started doing that, I got to admit, my life was pretty much focused on an email came in, it had to be read, it had to be dealt with, it had to be done. But after reading Dr. Covey's book and then doing this planning for 15 minutes a day, it was just like, okay, those ones can wait and those ones can wait. I learned a little bit more about delegation, and it really changed my stress level and my ability to get a lot of things done at work. I live and die by it now. I did not miss a single time with that after the first week, because once I hit it, I was like, okay, this is such a stress reliever.
Thank you.
Interesting. I want to try it.
Yeah, it's so that's my weekly goal. I spend 15 minutes a day planning my day. And then on a weekly goal, I spend 30 minutes a week planning my week. So what I would typically do Sunday after we got the kids to bed, and we were winding down for the night, we had done our family scripture study, we put the kids to bed, I would then open up my computer and I would look at everything that was on my docket for the week. I'd look at all my emails that had come in and all my assignments, and I would actually go into Outlook and set dates to do to-do list items. I would drag the email over to the to-do list column, set a due date, and say, okay, this person wants this, but that's not going to get done until Wednesday. And this person wants this, and it's not going to get done until Thursday. Good night, buddy. Love you.
You'll never guess what Brahmins and Tea.
Okay, we'll talk later, okay?
They were in food bowl.
Okay, good night, son.
We're going to bed, okay,
Sorry.
Daddy?
Okay, good night, beautiful.
Love you.
Love you too. Okay, sorry. So yeah, so by planning that once a week, I would do that every Sunday, plan my week out, and then it made the daily planning sessions even easier. So it was really a huge benefit. Those were two that I never missed because once I started them, it was a huge thing for me. Another goal was, did I eat slower and make healthier food choices? And with the exception of the times we were in the hospital, because there's no good food choices in a hospital, I did achieve that. And the cool thing was I lost 10 pounds throughout the course. So that was a big win for me too. My next goal was, did I follow up with my partner's goals? And that one was pretty good for the first few weeks, but then once my wife started getting sick, that fell off the track. So that went from about a daily goal to a weekly goal. And so I had a lot of things I had to do to make up for my nose, but I did make up for each and every one of them. So the other thing that I set for my weekly goal, I set 2 weekly goals, was, did I read from the church handbook of leadership, or did I read from other resources to become a better leader in my quorum? And that was actually really easy, because what I decided to do is every Elders Quorum presidency meeting we had started with a lesson or a small 2-minute conversation based on one of the principles in that book. And it really helped. And the other thing it helped me do was, by taking the time to do that, it actually helped me delegate better, because it taught my counselors, my secretaries, and my assistant secretaries what other things they could do. So they ended up, through our reading of the handbook, started stepping up and taking more responsibility in the quorum, and I was able to spend more time home with the family. So, so it was pretty cool. As I look through my PowerPoint here to see if I can answer some of the questions, who did I want to become? My becoming section was, I wanted to become someone who was more focused and more effective in all areas of my life, spiritual, temporal, and my work life. And to do that, I wanted to become a better time manager. I wanted to study my scriptures so I could be closer to the Lord every day. I wanted to take better control of my health. And I wanted to spend quality time with my kids each day. And the bottom line was, I wanted to be in control of all aspects of my life at all times. That does remind me, I left out one goal that I was able to accomplish. This was my proudest one, was, did I spend 15 minutes each day with my kids to play, talk about their day, or other activity of their choice? And I did that, and that was that changed a lot of things in the family, and it brought us closer. Especially once my wife started to feel ill, we did it even more so, and that really grew our family. We now have daily family council before dinner, and we talk about our goals as a family and our responsibilities to help one another as a family. And I didn't know that all the kids would get it. I mean, my 13-year-old would understand the benefit of family council and serving one another, but my 6-year-old is right there, and my 9-year-old are right there too. So it was really cool. So that's a little bit about what I did, what I wanted to become. Let's see some of the other questions here. She asked, did I modify any of my goals to make them easier? No, I didn't modify any of the goals, because I figured if I did, that wasn't really the point. I didn't think this accountability project was about getting a rock star grade by modifying goals to make it look good. It was about teaching ourselves something. So I didn't modify any of them. All the no's that I got, I addressed by serving. Whether it was doing something for my wife that was fun, or a gift card or taking her out to dinner or a movie. But most of the time after she started feeling ill, it was just basically serving her around the house. And that included, making sure that I did the laundry as much as I could, the dishes, and made dinner and did all of that stuff. So I had a lot of no's to make up for, but we did it. The next question was, did you ever justify a yes? It should have been a no. And I said, no, I did not, because I don't see how I could have answered that last question on a Temple Recommend interview. Are you honest in your dealings with your fellow man? If I'm sitting here justifying a yes, that just didn't seem right to me. I did follow through on all my consequences. And what did I accomplish versus what I wanted to accomplish? Well, I got better time with my kids. I got better health. I lost some weight. I got better stress control by being able to manage my time more effectively, and just a little bit more peace and harmony. And I learned how to delegate, and I learned the essentials of return and report, and allowing other people to step up and learn to be leaders as well. And that's basically how I became a little bit better of the person that I wanted to be. What would I do different in the future? I think I'll actually do this more often. And once I feel that I've got these things down to where they become habits, I'll probably end up creating some new goals and practice them long enough, because that's what I noticed after a few weeks. I didn't have to think about these things. They just became habit. They became routine. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much effort did you put in? Maybe she'll laugh at me for this, but I told her I put in an 11. Because after having a calling full-time, working full-time, and then when my wife was on bed rest for a while, taking care of the family, there were a lot of sleepless nights. But all in all, the project was definitely worthwhile. And I think that's all I've got for mine.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
You win.
I just realized my battery on my computer is about to die, so I have to move.
Oh, no.
I guess I can go next if nobody else
Yeah.
wants to.
Sure.
Okay, so overall, I just wanted, I'm turning 30 this year, and I was thinking, what do I want to give myself as a gift to myself? The last year in my 20s, what do I want to give? And I just felt like if I can feel I can feel the spirit more abundantly in my life, if I can increase my mental health, if I can increase my physical health, because I never really got, I had a baby 2 years ago, and then I just kind of not sat around, but sat around, because what I do is not very writing and recording. It's standing or sitting, and so I felt like I could increase my mental health by physically exercising, and then also it would help to prepare my body to have a future pregnancy. And so anyway, I just felt like if I can turn 30 and be look at all this progress I made this past year, mostly internally, then I would feel pretty stoked. And so my main goal was that I found this 12-week program, an exercise program that I could download the app, so it would be kind of like a trainer for me, and it would hold me accountable. So I found that, and so that was my main thing, was to start exercising consistently. And then it would be I already knew what to do because the app told me what to do, for that day. So that was really helpful. So I did that, and then I had a goal to stay in my scriptures long enough until I felt something. And then a big thing was that in February, I started getting off social media, and I would just check it every once in a while, which is tricky because since I do music, then sometimes I have to be on there for work stuff. But I was what? I don't need to be on this. I'm not going to die and lose my job if I'm not on it all the time. And so one of my daily goals was to do some sort of learning activity with my daughter. And I felt like it would kind of go hand in hand with my monthly goal of only checking social media once a week, because, you'd have more time. And then to check my classmates' goals, I would do that as well. And then weekly, I would take a progress photo because the scale lies, but pictures are a little bit better. And then another monthly one I had was to go to the temple. so anyway, and so I didn't modify my goals. Let's see. And I didn't realize that was an option, but I will say, I told her in my thing, I'm like, if I would have known that would have been an option, I would have changed my consequences. Cause I saw the example that, one of the examples, I guess, and it was like, send my wife to a spa and do this and do that. So I was like, oh, it has to be so intense that I would never want to say no. And so I did like, I would have to pay my sister $50 and I'd have to run 5 miles and babysit the wild neighbor girl for free. And then I was like, so for the first half of the semester, I was like on fire. Like Jose, what you were saying, whereas like I told myself like I was a 10 plus, like I wasn't just on a scale of 1 to 10. I was like on fire and I didn't miss any days. And then like I just got a lull halfway through and I started feeling like frustrated going, you know what? If my consequence would have been just one of those things, I would have put a no. But then I started just doing them just because I was like, I was so annoyed that my consequences were so extreme that I was like, okay, I'll just do it. But I felt like in that sense, I felt like I was justifying a yes just because I didn't feel like I was like in it like I used to be. And so then I thought in hindsight, like, sorry, I'm kind of jumping all around what the things were, but I thought, in hindsight, I would do this again, but I would also, like the last half, I felt like it was more just like a checklist. Whereas the first half of the semester, I was like, this is awesome. I love my life, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like I feel like those consequences were more like if you missed a whole week of your goals. And had I done like a little simpler consequence, I would have been like, you know what, today I'm okay to say no for this one goal. And I'll still do the consequence, but I'm okay to say no versus like, oh my gosh, I have to do it even though blah, if that makes any sense. And because I was just like, man, I just feel like I'm just kind of like resenting it. The other thought I had was because I had this idea, I don't know how to get back. Oh, there's my mouse. Because I had my daily goal for the scriptures to stay in it until I felt something. Sometimes like the only thing I felt was like my eyeballs are closing. And so I was thinking, I probably should have like reworded that to make it, even though like I was trying to get away from the study for 20 minutes or because I'm like, well, what if I get something in 10 minutes and what if I need 45 another day? But for this type of project, I felt like it probably needed a little more robotic like goal, if that makes any sense. So I'd probably change that in the future to where it could give me like a definite yes. Like, did I work out? Yes or no. I either worked out or I didn't. Versus, did I feel something? Did I stay in my scriptures long enough till I felt something? Yes or no. But at the same time, like that's not as concrete, I don't feel like, as just saying like, did I read for 20 minutes? You know what I mean? So anyway, and then the biggest thing that I noticed though was like the social media. So I'm just like insanely amazed at how much more present I am in just life in general. And I also realize like when you talk to people, you realize how many people are on their phones when you talk to them and they're like scrolling and refreshing and you're like, oh yeah, I used to be one of those like just a few months ago. And so kind of like, it was one of those interesting things of like, this is a good thing. Like, and I still love social media to keep up with friends that, friends and family that are all over the country and world. But at the same time, it's like my life still goes on if I didn't know where they went to swim that day, you know what I mean? Or even that week. Like, and so just setting like a time limit for myself to say, okay, I'll get on once a week and I can get on for 30 minutes or I can get on for whatever. But like, instead of it being daily, I just took it off my phone and it's a lot. I don't know. I just feel more present. So like I'm a huge proponent of that now. And I felt like naturally I found ways to, oh wow, I'm talking for a long time. Okay, I'll be done. Naturally I found ways to be like more present with my daughter and like really fun ways for learning activities and things that aren't that tricky or crazy. It's not like we did insane things every day, but it's like when you don't have your phone around you, you really do think up some fun things to do to teach her because you have more time on your hands. So it was really cool. That was probably my favorite part, just to feel more present. So But yeah, the other big thing was just realizing, like, you know what, in hindsight, choose consequences that are more appropriate for one missing goal. Mine were way too extreme. And I think had I chosen better ones that weren't so extreme, that I would have like kept up the enthusiasm throughout the semester and been like, it's okay, today I'll follow through on my consequence, no problem. Versus like, I don't want to do it at all. And so now I'm mad. And so now I'm just going to do them just because I'm mad because I don't want to do the consequence. So, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then, but I didn't feel like, I mean, I tried to choose goals that I could do so that I wouldn't be overwhelmed. So I think that's why, like, I was able to follow through on them because I just I made sure I didn't do too crazy of goals. And I will say I am on week 11 of my 12-week program, so that's pretty exciting. Haven't missed a day with that. So yeah, that was basically it. Just is a you know, the race, or I said finally the biggest lesson I learned is that the race is only against yourself and no one else. Set realistic goals and consequences appropriate for those goals, and enjoy the process, and be okay if there's a day you need to say no to one of the goals. But at the same time, don't make it a habit of having too many no days. So that was mine. The end.
Very good.
Yeah, that's very cool. And I agree. When I first wrote on mine, I wrote some pretty strict goals and consequences. And then I went back before we started it. And I'm like, well, let's think about that. At my company, every year we do goal setting, and we use something called the SMART goal setting, which means they're specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. And I thought, man, would I strap myself with something that stringent at work? So I'm like, no, let's erase that one. Let's change that one a little bit.
I should have talked to you before.
I'll go next.
Who wants to go next? Okay.
I'll go next if you don't mind. I had 4 daily goals. My husband taught me a long time ago that if you would read, if you're going to teach a lesson in church or wherever, if you would read it through once a day, by the time you got down to really making your lesson go, you would know it. And so my lesson, one of my goals was just to read my Sunday school lesson once a day. And so by the time it came, I would know my lesson. What a difference in my lessons. They've been tremendously different, and I'm really glad for that. Another thing you'll laugh at is I'm not a seatbelt wearer, but I know that it's stupid. In fact, a friend of mine, I have a little saying that goes, life is hard, but it's even harder when you're stupid. And that's how I feel about not wearing a seatbelt. And so one of my goals was to wear my seatbelt every time I got in the car. And another goal was, oh, did you get my medicine? Oh, it's in the middle of the island. The next one was to kiss my husband every time when he came home from work. You know, I think that that's one of those important relationships that we let other things get in the way. And I don't want to do that. And my last was to exercise 5 days a week. And then a couple of weekly goals was to write in my journal and to write a thank you note. 1, A, not 12, a thank you note every week. Who I wanted to become was, I want to learn to give service with enthusiasm and imagination. And I wanted to, the Savior to know that I loved him and I trusted him to help me make the right decisions in my life. And I really wanted to quit second guessing when I received direction. Just get up and go and do it. And I've always been a strong person, but I've had some health issues and I'm not strong anymore. And I want to get back to being strong. I may not be what I used to be, but I can be strong wherever I am. I did not modify my goals. And my consequences, like Jose, was to I've kind of struggled with the idea of ministering. And so one of my goals was to incorporate that in my consequences. So when I didn't complete something, then that was my time to go and perform either service for the ladies I've been given to, or just somebody in my family. And I've really enjoyed that a lot. I thought the question of what did you accomplish versus what did you want to accomplish was a very interesting question, because I found that I didn't really accomplish exactly what I wanted. Where is it? Let's see. I'm kind of a little rebellious snot, Kellyanne. It reminded me of what you were saying, that it would just make you mad sometimes. And that the goals that I picked were mine. And I got the chance to learn about giving service cheerfully. And I don't always give service cheerfully, but that was a really great thing for me. What I would do differently was to keep doing it. It was just really, I changed a lot. I now wear my seatbelt every time. I said that I got an 8.5. And the reason why, though I did my goals, because I couldn't get my people that I was supposed to be working with interested in communicating, I just gave up. I shouldn't have done that. I should have kept going. Just if they didn't want to text me, I'm texting them anyway and keep going. And maybe they would have. But the last few times I texted them, no one responded. So I figured they didn't care anymore. And so I don't know what they did. Yeah. What did I learn about accountability? That talk is cheap. It's easy to say something, but the follow through is an important part. To have a system in place where you feel ownership in the goal is important, especially if there are changes that are of an eternal nature to you and to those you love. And that's that. Thank you, Kellyanne.
Very good.
Awesome. Great job.
My muted clapping.
I got some ideas from you because I teach, my husband and I teach the Valiants, and I think it's a good idea to go over the lesson like every day, so that way you're really prepared by Sunday. Usually I start doing it on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then I'll look at it again during sacrament sometimes. And I really need to be better prepared. So I really like that one.
Well, thank you.
That's cool.
Exactly what you are used to doing, what I've always done. But it seemed a worthy goal, and it was. I really became a much better teacher. Okay.
I'm going to utilize that one too in Elders Quorum, because I have found that now, especially with the new curriculum that we use, the Teaching in the Savior's Way, where it's conference talks and then it's short discussions. I've really got to study the conference talks more, because in my ward, being Elders Quorum president, I'm the youngest of the rest of my quorum, probably by at least 15 to 20 years.
Whoa.
I'm in there with bishops and stake presidents, and I'm like, and I'm the Elders Quorum president? And so with that being said, we can go off on all kinds of tangents. So I think if I do a little bit more study, I can keep us back on track a little easier. That's a really good one.
Jose, I'll say, don't sell yourself short. I know why you're the Elders Quorum president.
Thank you. I appreciate
because
that.
you're good at it.
That's right.
And then after that,
I'm either good at it or I need to learn it better, because this is my third round as an Elders Quorum president, but this one's the funnest.
Good.
You're good at it.
Who's next?
So who wants to go next? You want me to go next? Or Mitchell? Who wants to go next?
I'll go. Is that okay?
Sure.
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Well, I picked 3 different areas and where I wanted to become. One was to be a disciple of Christ. So I kind of wrote out like bullet points on my covenants, obedient to the will of the Lord. And I wanted to trust His plan in my life, faith and courage to follow and do what the Spirit directs me to do. I also wanted to be a better husband and father. So I wanted to be more patient, kind, full of love. I wanted to be charitable and serve them more. And then I want to be a better leader. I want to be a good and positive example to those that are around me. And I want to be those that are around me. And then to be able to invite everyone around me to live a good life and come unto Christ. So those are the 3 different areas that I become better in attack. The teacher said I set a lot of daily goals, but a lot of the goals, okay in a lot of them, completing at least 30 to 50%, but I really wanted to perfect doing them more on a daily basis. So the ones, the morning and evening prayers, personal scripture study, was really able to do that really well, except for when we went on a couple of vacations, missed a couple of days there. I wanted to listen to appropriate media. So whether that's, my radio station, changing it. We have a couple Christian radio stations here in Phoenix. And so my wife started listening to it about a year and a half ago, and really good stuff and just really uplifting. And so I've been listening to that a lot more and putting in CDs and talks and scriptures and stuff like that. I wanted to serve my wife every day, and according to her, I did that. So that's good. I wanted to spend at least 30 minutes with my kids each day. Nice thing is I'm home a lot, and it's also summertime, so I was able to do that. I'm hoping that once school starts, and so that we can continue to do that. That's going to continue to be one of my main goals, is maybe not 30 minutes, but spending one-on-one time. I read something where it said, if you can at least spend minutes looking into your child's eyes every day, and letting them know that you love them. So I want to do that. The 2 I struggled on is I wanted to go for a run each day and do different strength. And the main reason is because of my health. I've been struggling with, the doctors still don't know. I have some kind of abdominal pain and a lot of fatigue, and I've lost like 50 pounds in the last year. And so that was a kind of a struggle. And so I kind of excused those, and I can, or try to do whatever I can. But luckily they've ruled out everything serious, but they just don't know what it is. So those were, but being a track and cross country coach, I know that I'll be able to, once I get to feeling better, back running and doing stuff with my kids. For home now, my assignments, I did miss a few assignments being on time. I did turn them in, but it just wasn't on time. So I guess I kind of completed that one because I just put turn in all your assignments. One was to read a leadership, coaching, or business book at least 15 minutes a day. And I missed a couple of days, mainly because of those vacations and different traveling. And then did you log into your bank account? I wanted to look into my bank account so that I can be aware of the different transactions that and purchases that we make, and be more aware of where we're spending our money. My weekly goals, conference talk, which I did on Sundays, and then to prepare for my Sunday lesson. So I teach then 8 through 10-year-olds in our ward, and I just wanted to be more prepared for those lessons, and so was able to do that. Listen, I want leadership, coaching, or business every week, which I didn't take my wife out on a date, which we were able to accomplish and do. The ones I struggled with were my monthly goals. My wife said that it wasn't completely my fault, but we wanted to attend the temple every month. But just with, we put it on the calendar, but there was just always conflicts. So there was a couple months where we didn't do that. And then meaningful fast, which was done. And then did put money into savings, which has been always been kind of difficult with her because my wife is often in schools, and so a lot of the money that we put away is so we can get through the summer. I guess I time about we basically used everything, anything into savings. So the consequences that I set for myself, to watch any sports for the next. I like watching all kinds of different sporting events, but mainly, you know, the Diamondbacks are doing really well, so I love watching those games and watching that while I do my homework. So that was kind of difficult, but I did that, and then the other one I would have to watch movie or TV up within the following week, which we did probably 3/4 of the time. I didn't realize that it was just time. That, you know, those things take time, and we went on dates, so I don't know if that kind of counted, but we didn't. Like I said, 3/4 of the time we were able to do that, but all the sporting events I did miss. What I learned about what I accomplished was, you know, that, you know, I didn't really finish becoming who you want to be. So I feel like I'm not still become a better disciple. I still want to be a better husband and father, and so continuing doing these things. But I think the thing that I did accomplish was more self-discipline in being, you know, conscious of what I want to accomplish, and so in doing what I say I'm going to do. And so I think that accountability is what really helped me accomplish self-discipline, which I think is kind of ironic because it involves other people.
Yeah.
I increased in my consistency of doing those, you know, daily. And so that's what I, those things that I do sporadically, I do pretty well. I wanted to be really good at those. And I think I did that. So things I learned about accountability, cares, and wants you to succeed. And with some of it, you know, I really mentor my who helps teach me more about coaching and kind of was really helpful in providing counsel with me on different things, and was not just gonna be like a yes person, like, oh yeah, you did well, or, you know, kind of like not let you be honest and truthful about your performance and kind of stick to do that. Why didn't you do that? And kind of be on me. So those are the kind of ability, the things that I accomplished. I'm trying to think if there was anything I missed. So I really enjoyed the project. 1 out of 10, I think I did give myself like a 9. Just consequences, you know, not doing it the whole time, but most of the time. Because that was kind of like you, Kaylee, where I was just like, I don't want to be stressed out and about not missing it, but I also want to have something that will still drive me, because I don't need more. I want more positivity and accomplishment. So, yeah.
Very good.
Okay,
Good job.
super random, Mitchell, but do you still listen to Christian radio now?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard a song called Freedom Hymn by Austin French?
My wife would probably be able to tell you. I don't know any
Okay.
of the.
I was just curious. I wrote it, and it's been on radio for
I
like
don't really
the
pay
past
attention
6 months. So I was like,
to
oh, I
the
wonder if you've heard that.
songs and all.
Nobody, nobody I know listens to Christian radio. So I was like, oh, maybe you've heard it.
I'll ask my wife.
What's the name again of the song?
Is it?
Like HYMN, Freedom Hymn.
I'm going to listen.
And the artist name is Austin French.
I've heard the artist, but I haven't heard the song yet. But I'll go find it on my Slacker radio.
There we go. Christian
You
music.
say you wrote that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. I'm going to look it up.
Me too. That's neat.
The artist can sing so great, and it was his first single, and it landed in top 10 for like 8 weeks. So I was really excited for him, because most of the time when it's your first single as a new artist, like if you barely crack top 40, that's exciting, you know. So I was really happy for him. Anyway,
That's
blah,
awesome.
blah, blah.
That's awesome.
Side note, but I was like, oh, wow, he listens to Christian radio. Maybe he's heard it.
Well, I figured I better move back into my office because the sound was starting to move in and out, and I wasn't sure if you guys would be able to hear me. So I think I got charged up enough to go through mine if you guys are ready. Were you finished, Mitchell?
I bet he
Can you
was.
guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was done.
Okay. All right. I just don't want to, you know, if anyone had any more questions. Okay, so I'm kind of like Annette. I've had a few.
Yeah, I'm done.
A few health problems and so forth. And so I decided what I wanted to become was a person with more energy. And that I felt like the way that I could do it was to lose more weight. I've lost about, in the past couple of years, about 50 pounds. But I really need to lose 20. I really need to lose 20 more. And I think that that'll make the difference. So anyway, I want to have energy, and I want to live like these both go hand in hand. You know, if you lose weight, then you're probably going to have more energy. And if you have more energy, you know, you're going to be exercising more, so to lose the weight. So anyway, that was really mainly my goal, and that I want to live the next 20 years of my life in a healthy condition. So I'm 65 in August this year. And I just would like to have another 20 years, you know, but anyway, so I want to be healthier, and I know I can do it. I need to be motivated. And I think having this project was really good for me, because it just made me write it down and put it on a spreadsheet, and every day go to it and check off the checks, you know. And I had 2 wonderful accountability partners. Every day we text back and forth, you know, and checked on each other. And, you know, we didn't bug each other or anything, but we would, you know, just check and see how each other was doing. And so I enjoyed that, being able to work with them. So let's see. What else? Oh, the other thing is I'd like to be able to go on a mission with my husband, you know, in the next couple of years. And I need to be able to stand on my feet for longer periods of time. And so I think by losing 20 more pounds that this will happen. So, you know, I had 2 holidays in the period. So on those 2 days, I said, I excused myself. And then I said, if there was a death in the family or something like that, that I had to go to, I'd excuse myself for that. But other than that, you know, I would stick to it. And if I had more than 5 failures in a month, that I would pay my husband $100 for each failure. So he didn't he didn't get anything, so that's good. So I had a workout plan Monday through Saturday. Sunday was a day of rest, and it was basically to just work out 30 minutes, and that's not really even that long. I really need to increase it to an hour. But just doing things like squats and leg lifts and sit-ups and the elliptical machine and walking, and now that's warmer, swimming. And so that's what I've been doing for my exercise. But my daily checkoff list was a combination of different things to help me meet these goals. So the first one was, did I pray today? The next one was, did I read or listen to the scriptures for 15 minutes today? Did I take my vitamins and drink my water today? Did I check on my partner's goals today? I made that one of my things so that I would definitely do it. And I think that helped. Did I keep within my 1,500 calories on my FitnessPal today? Did I serve my husband today and tell him one positive thing about him? Did I do 30 minutes of active exercise? Did I get up from my schoolwork every hour and take a stretch break? And that was one thing that, I mean, I could sit on the couch for like 3.5 hours just doing homework nonstop and not get up. And that really is not good for me. I need to get up and move around. And I need to, you know, just keep myself busy and do a little bit of housework in between. I can't just sit there and do homework all day, which sometimes I would tend to do. So then my weekly and monthly goals, well, what I had on mine is I just had, did I meet my daily goals? So I would just check that yes or no for the week, and double my goal if I missed my goal. And then, so then I would say yes or no. And did I lose weight or inches this month? Yes or no. And did I feel better about myself and have more energy? So did I follow through with my consequences? I did not justify a yes on this project, which should have been a no. I put no if I didn't do it. There was a few times that I was really suffering from allergies and wheezing a lot, and I just couldn't, and it was about halfway through. Like you said, Kellyanne, it was like I was just getting tired, but I think it was the allergies too, because I was wheezing, and I even had to use a breathing machine that I borrowed from my sister-in-law to help me, because at nighttime I just couldn't, I was just coughing all the time. But anyway, I made it up within the next, week, and I was able to get my exercise in. But I always did all the other things, the praying and, all my other goals. It was just the exercise one that was hard when I was having that problem. And then, so in what way did I become the person I wanted to be? Well, daily prayer and meditation now becomes a habit. I just automatically do it before I even get out of bed. I just kind of like lay there and, meditate a little bit, say my prayers, and then get up. Tracking my food and vitamins on my FitnessPal is really helpful. In fact, the one time that I messed up and I went over my calories was because I put my calories in at the end of the day, and I learned that I cannot do that. I have to do it every time that I eat, because otherwise you can lose track. And then all of a sudden you're 100 over, So anyway, after that, I didn't have that problem. And I learned to make exercise part of my daily routine in the morning. I learned to take breaks from my schoolwork, and I learned to make myself accountable. So I really think that, by having this accountability contract, it was very helpful for me. So for the future, well, I was able to lose, well, I have here in my presentation 10 pounds, but actually I see today when I got on the scales, it's actually 13 pounds now out of my 20. So I'm going to continue to do this. But one thing I did find out is I went to about this Nutra shop, Nutri shop, and it's in Meridian. And she was saying you should go there and have them do an analysis. You know, you get on a scale and, you know, they weigh you and then it does this analysis. You put your fingers on this thing and then anyway, they do an analysis of your body. And so the guy was telling me that 1,500 calories is really not enough for me. He said that's if you're sitting all day long and not doing anything. You need more calories than that to do exercise. So, you know, that could be why I started getting a little bit taller.
Marie, did you kiss him?
Uh-huh.
Did you kiss him for saying that?
He was a young boy, I tell you. I think he was a Mormon too. He was just so sweet and respectful. But anyway, so I'm going to start on a new track now. And so now I'm using this protein powder and putting it in a drink and making a smoothie in the morning and making it with almond milk and water. And I've increased my calories to 1,700. And now I'll be eating more protein, less carbs. I'm really watching my carbs. And see, this was something I was afraid to put on my thing because I was afraid I would sabotage myself and I couldn't do it, is to give up the soda. And honestly, if I would have just been brave and put that as one of my goals, I just should have. I didn't think I could do it. I was afraid I couldn't get through all my classes without the caffeine and the soda. I just thought it would be a disaster, so I didn't put it down. But anyway, this guy told me, you've got to quit the soda. Quit the soda. So 5 days ago I did, and you know, I feel much better now. So I am kind of a substitute of this lemon or the pink lemonade and a peach mango that I add to my water, and it makes it more flavorful. So instead of drinking the soda, I'm drinking this really delicious drink now, and I'm getting my water in, eating the soda. So yeah, so I have a feeling that I'm going to get through this 20, you know, probably within the next few weeks because of that alone. Yeah. But plus I'm working with them on, you know, I'm using their protein and I'm eating they have these one delicious, and I'm using those for a snack. So, and so then on a scale of 1 to 10, I scored myself on 9.5 since I didn't get a perfect score on my tracking sheet, but I think good. You know, I miss my calories one time. So, and then I missed working out a couple different times because I was sick, but still, you know, I made it up. So, but what I learned is in order to be accountable, you really just need to establish those good habits. And then once you have the habit down, you know, you just need to keep it a part of your life and learn that you just can't let the world get in the way of your being happy and having a full life. So, you know, take hold of yourself and make things happen for your well-being. And finally, don't worry, be happy. So, but awesome. That was pretty much what I had on my presentation, my PowerPoint that I did.
Good for you.
Good job.
Congratulations. I know those aren't easy ones to tackle, especially the weight. I've been fighting it for 3 years now. I'm down a total of 105 pounds, but it doesn't come off easy. When it does come off slowly, it stays off.
So Mitchell, you're the one who wants to gain weight, so we'll give you all of ours that we're trying to lose.
I'll give you all my bad habits.
We'll make a swap, bro. You can have my
Eat
weight.
more corn,
Yeah.
carrots, potatoes.
I was just say, contract a weird disease that nobody could find out what it is, and you'll lose weight.
No thanks.
Yeah.
No weight loss by tapeworm, please.
Oh man, that's cool
No.
to hear, everybody.
Well,
Yeah, it really was.
I'm sure you'll figure out what's wrong, or the doctors will figure out what's wrong. Sometimes it just takes a while, you know.
Yeah, it's on the Lord's
My
time.
Yeah,
my
they think
girlfriend.
I think it's probably that they can't really. They'll just take time to kind of go through my system, and body will just fight it, I guess. So I've been trying to change my diet and do different things to help my body get the strength to. We'll see.
Good.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
I keep you in my prayers. And Jose, your wife, can you tell us how she's doing now? Is she doing a little better?
She's doing a lot better. She was diagnosed with something called thank you, Carolyn. Mixed connected tissue disease, which is a form of an autoimmune disease where her body starts attacking itself, and it leads to fatigue and swelling and joint pain, and it's the precursor to rheumatoid arthritis and
I was
lupus.
going to ask if it was related to arthritis.
Yeah, it's related to rheumatoid arthritis and lupus, but the good news is, and the good blessing is that we found a doctor quickly, and he diagnosed it pretty quickly, and believes that with just daily medication, it won't ever evolve into either rheumatoid arthritis or lupus, both which can be crippling. So she's on medicine now, and she should start she's getting her energy level back, but they said it'd probably take about another 2 months before she's back to her normal self.
Wow.
So the good news is I can aggravate her now because she can't get off the sofa fast enough to chase me.
Yeah.
Jose,
Laughing in the other room, so she's probably going to throw something at me.
I will say we have our ways.
Absolutely.
Man. Well, thanks for a great semester, everyone.
Has been a great semester.
Good
luck.
Best of luck in the
This was a
future
great
to
group.
all of us.
Yeah.
I'm excited to
Well,
see what happens when we all graduate.
Absolutely. And if anybody
When
does
does
go,
everybody graduate?
I
Hopefully
graduate in
summer.
December.
I've
December.
got 5 classes, so I'm probably because I'm taking one class a semester, I'm probably a year out still.
And Kaylee Ann, what?
Well,
Hopefully this summer. I'm hoping for once I'm done through like next July, once the spring semester's over, I'm hoping to be done. It depends on an internship.
Uh-huh.
If
And
I
how
get-
about you, Marie?
for me, December.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, I'm going to go up and walk. And so, Marie, you're going to be there, right?
Are you? Maybe I'll see you there.
I've
Yeah.
waited a long time.
That is awesome.
Well, I walked for my associates because I was so excited, and that was last December. So now, well, actually, I have five more classes. So, but if I take 2 in the summer and then 3,
Yeah.
I can finish. Or they even said that they allow you to walk in December, even if you have like 2 more, and then you can just do them in the spring.
Oh, good.
So,
Well,
but I'm excited. I just want to get it done.
yeah.
Yeah.
We probably all feel that way. Well, have a
Well,
good rest of the summer.
I wanted to do one thing if I could. I am on Facebook more than I should be because I manage the social media for my work. But I wanted to share because it's hard to find me. So is it okay if I share my screen? So if anybody wants to connect, you can see how to put my name into Facebook.
Yes.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I tried to connect to you, Jose, and I couldn't. I couldn't add you as a friend.
Okay, I'm gonna send you a private message, and because I tried to do the same, Maria, I tried to connect to yours, didn't have the button to hit friend request. So I'll send you a message, a private message, and maybe we can go that way. But it's Jose de la Portilla, 3 words. So if anybody's on Facebook, I'm on there all the time. And that's me and my munchkins at the Great Wolf Lodge. Me and the wife and the kids having some fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to close with these words. They're the lyrics of a song I really love. Because I know you love him, because I love him too. It deepens and refines my love for you. Through the Spirit, I hope you understand. It's more than friendship I feel for you, my friends.
You're so cute.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
gonna
you.
also,
You're gonna make me cry.
with my contact info. So if I can ever be of help to any of y'all, if you just want to stay in touch and you don't do Facebook, you can email me or send me a text or a phone call, because really had a great time. This is, of all the classes that I've had where we've had group meetings, this has been the funnest one, and it's the content and then the individuals really made a big difference. So thank you, everyone.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I agree.
All right.
Have
a great night.
night. Have a great summer break, and we will talk to y'all
All
later.
right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.